Sup, nerds? Today's...
Hey, this is my show. No, go away. This is my show. Today is Alyx Saturday, everyone. And if you weren't already aware, this is just where I present you with the best mods of the week, and some that you should just know about. And I have to admit that it has been a light week for mods, but there is one sick dude. Seesaw Bridge is a pretty daggone amazing remake of the bridge scene from Half-Life 2 Episode 2. It's done so well that I think I was able to successfully envision myself actually in Half-Life 2 VR. Or maybe what could be Half-Life 3 VR. Almost everything is remade exactly the same as the original. Not everything, but most things that matter. A few things that are different are that the portal stream is not off on the horizon from the Citadel, and the bridge seesaws in a different manner from the original. And those are probably the only two major changes. Except, of course, that Alyx isn't sniping zombies for you. But that wouldn't fit anyway, because you're playing Alyx. And because of this, there are a few Alyx twists on this map. Like hacking the terminal to open the gate at the beginning, which Alyx actually does in the original, and fighting an electric dog, which is the most enjoyable electric dog battle that I've ever played, and you know I hate fighting the electric dogs. One underrated element from this remake is the general atmosphere. If you just stand and take in the environment, you'll hear a little white noise, some eerie ambient music, and maybe some slight sounds of wind as well. And by the way, I think these atmospheric elements are crucial to remaking parts of Half-Life 2. You can't just get the geometries, the textures, and the scripting and expect it to feel like Half-Life 2. Many parts of Half-Life 2 have a unique, cold, and gray feeling that you can hear and see to the point that it makes the hair on your skin stand up at times. Nothing about this mod seems slapped together. It was all finely tuned and meticulously planted. The combat is not only accurate to the original, but so well paced that I never once griped at an encounter. I was impressed and surprised to know that much of the level is completely present for the entire time. I even left some zombies alive at the base of the river, and to my surprise when I reached the top, they were still walking around. And I even managed to kill one by throwing a grenade down at them. This remake hits so many nails on their heads that I'd say it's an absolute must play. There is one thing wrong though. No autosaves. A cardinal sin.
Bad mod. Bad mod. Bad shame. Shame on you.
The Lost Case 5 is my least favorite Lost Case episode, but it does something that pushes the boundaries for modding, which is that it's based around stealth. You don't get a weapon, but there are Combine on patrol, so you're forced to sneak your way through the building, going behind their backs. Or at least somewhat staying out of their view. Obviously, this system needs work if it's ever going to be taken seriously, and it may be work outside of just changes to the AI. One thing I've noticed about VR is that I generally have less patience for certain things than I do in pancake games. Standing and waiting for some AI to turn around is surprisingly far more mentally taxing than sitting and waiting. Though I didn't feel this way while playing Budget Cuts. I'm not sure why. I think it may be because I understood the mechanics in Budget Cuts, but I was guessing in the Lost Case 5. Knowing that one wrong move at the wrong time simply because I didn't understand the enemy's sightline is frustrating, and it makes me feel anxious to the point that I just don't want to play, or I would rather take my chances running and getting shot at. So thanks to Wim for taking on this challenge, and I hope that we see some better renditions of it in the future. Lost Case 6 is ranked somewhere in the middle of the series. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I think one overall theme that I've seen in episodes 2 through 6 is that they tend to be sort of rushed and unpolished, but at the same time well designed and interesting. Props to Wim either way. To put out this much content so quickly that's also fairly high quality and distinguishable at the same time is a heck of a feat. Each episode has its own flavor in gameplay and level design that's different from the last. Episode 6 showcases a dark and spooky environment that requires you to carry a candle for light. The candle itself is ugly and provides a frustratingly dim light, but it creates the intended effect of slower gameplay that will give you chills on your spine. This episode features many comedic elements as well, something not even hinted at in previous episodes. I find this to be an odd artistic choice for the episode that appears to be the spookiest cosmetically. If you want to sample Half-Life in VR but are too lazy to go through setting up the actual Half-Life VR, you can now play it in Alyx with a click of a button, but only 2 chapters. I gotta say, it looks great, about as great as I could expect it to look while staying true to the original. It has almost 100% original elements, and the crowbar even works. I mean, it technically works. One thing that this mod highlights is how different Alyx is from the other Half-Life games. The movement speed alone is enough to present that. Level design in the Alyx campaign tends to be much more compact, allowing an interesting experience by spending several minutes in one small room. Bringing Alyx's movement into Half-Life 1 is a disaster. I use jumping to get around everywhere faster because the original Half-Life movement speed is so much faster and sharper. If you played the original Half-Life in VR, you're not going to find anything interesting in here. But if you've never experienced it through the VR lens, you might want to take a look. There are some events missing, such as the test chamber's explosiveness, and many elements just don't translate well, such as the crowbar. I'll also have to point out that there are no autosaves, and some manual saves will even break the game. So here we go again.
Shame on you. Get out of here.
And that's all for this week's mods. Today I have a PSA. My game randomly stopped working last week and it took forever to figure it out. Actually, Steam support was zero help at all. So I found a fix for it online. So if one day you launch Alyx and it only loads for 5 seconds and then crashes, here's how you fix it. Open up the game properties in Steam. Under the Updates tab, disable Steam Cloud Synchronization. And under the DLC tab, uncheck Workshop Tools. After you've done that, go into your Steam file directory, into the Half-Life Alyx folder, find the save folder and delete all the saves. And well, that was boring, but I hope it helped someone. I hope you guys have a great week, and until the next video, we'll be seeing you.